Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending what part of the world you are in. Um, Welcome to our Midweek Empowerment Circle. I thank you and I appreciate you for being here or for watching the replay. Please know that I do appreciate you and whatever I could do to make things work for you, I will do. I am here to help, to assist, and show up for all you when you need me. Um, so on Tuesday, yesterday, we went over, um, we gave you 10 more ideas. And I want to pause. I want you to reflect and ask yourself, what is God trying to help me release right now? Because information changes our mind, but application changes our lives. So today we're going to take a deeper look at three areas that I believe affect every one of us. And as we see here today is this is our second week working on our new Rise and Thrive release um, new uh, series of our weekly topics. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, and I apologize for that. And I appreciate you for being here, for showing up. So these are the two chapters that we are working on. We already finished chapter one, which we went over freedom, legacy, peace, and impact. And this chapter two that just started on uh, July 4th, I think it was, or the 3rd, is to reset and rise serious. So I hope that if you are not, please, if you want to take a screenshot of this, or you could go back into the community and there is worksheets for all of them. And my goal is to be able to turn all those worksheets into uh, a book or an ebook and be able to provide it to you later if you need it, or even like keep it for my file so we could use it as maybe training later on. You could even like train in your community, whatever you would like to do. But my intentions is to be able to take this life matter uh, calls and turn them into something. We every week go through 10 different topics, 10 one topic, 10 different options, 10 different uh plans or rules or whatever it is to be able to work on those. And again, I always say, out of 10, pick one step at a time, whatever you feel that is holding you back and that you need to work on the most. So this week, as a deep dive, I'm going to go into release guilt and give yourself some grace, which, as we spoke yesterday, we don't always do that. I like to begin with this one because I feel that it has a big part of on in my own journey. There was seasons when I carried guilt that wasn't helping me grow. As a caregiver, as a parent, as a grandparent, as a spouse, as a friend, we often look back and think, I should have done more, or I should have known, or I should have handled that a little differently. I know that feeling. Uh, those thoughts always come to our minds when they shouldn't, but they do. Uh, you always wonder, could I have done more? Should I have noticed something sooner? Should I have been stronger on that situation? But I've learned something, which a lot of times we don't realize what we have learned until we sit down, take a deep breath, and look back at we have accomplished. Um, Guilt keeps us looking backwards. Grace allows us to move forward. So this is when you have to just Release that guilt. Give yourself some grace because you're here today. You are moving forward. So that means that you went over that little hump. So I will please ask yourself, have you been carrying guilt that God has already forgiven and moved forward from? So I would love it if you answer that in the comments. If you want to talk privately, please do so. Send me a message on a school, or if you have my email, my phone number, whatever it is, whatever works better for you. Um, Forgiveness isn't pretending something didn't happen. It's choosing not to stay imprisoned by it. Don't punish yourself forever with it. Acknowledge, feel the emotion, and let it go. Don't let that kick your butt. Don't allow for that feeling to just drag you and keep you down. Because to be honest, if we think about it, for the most part, it's not worth sitting down and dwelling on it forever because that does it makes us it gives us weakness. It takes that energy away and that positive feeling that we want to have. So again, forgiveness isn't pretending something didn't happen. It's choosing not to stay imprisoned by it. So don't keep yourself in there. Get yourself out of it. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, that's easy for you to say. I've said that. I have said that plenty of times. People say, oh, well, if you think about it, you're uh, manifesting it for yourself. No, it's something that I went through. So just so you could just feel that emotion and learn from it, I feel that you should own it, acknowledge, own it, feel it, keep it moving. As easy as it sounds, I know it's not. I know it's hard, but it's not impossible. Deep dive number 2. Release fear and trust the next step. There was another season in my life when fear became very real. Losing my job after 15 years, minus a month, receiving the glaucoma diagnosis, wondering what's next. Fear can convince us to stay where we are because it feels safer. Like, oh my God, I'm feeling this. And you just want to feel it and like, oh, you feel your whole heart in there. But here's what I've learned. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward while trusting God to walk right beside you. And I know sometimes we say to ourselves, but what's happening? Where is he? Why is this happening to me? As a young girl, I was always told, don't question God. God always has a plan. And one of the first toughest moments in my life was stepson's, when, when my stepson was killed. He was young. He was, uh, he was 19. About he had a baby, for a 2-month-old baby, and he was the only child to his mom. And I remember me saying, oh my God, she's such a good mom. She does everything for that kid. He's always looking good. He was a good kid. Why? Why did you do that to her? She's a good person. That was the first time I questioned God. But it was almost like this thought came to my head because she's a strong woman and I need her for other kids? I think she answered that to herself before it was answered to me. And I remember having a conversation with her, and I said to her, I am so sorry. I remember when he went missing. She and myself went crazy looking for him. Um, I went into really weird places, but it was okay because I was looking for him. And his wife was with me, and we were just going crazy. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I remember the day we were both at her house, and law enforcement came in to give her the news. And it was, oh, I still remember the screams, and oh, it was so devastating. So devastating. It was so scary. I was young, and wow, I was young, but I already had my kids. It was almost like, wow, how am I going to tell my children this? It was almost like, oh, but I did question God. And I told her, I'm like, I don't know why this is happening to you, and I am so sorry. Your only child. And as I'm saying that, at the same time, I'm answering that to her. I'm like, you're a good woman. And I think God knows that you're the only one that could help his friends. And as I'm saying this to her, my heart was almost like becoming like relieved. So I know God put that in my heart as I was talking it out. So um it was it was a scary thing. It was almost like having a nightmare being awake. But if we look for answers, we will find them. If you're afraid of anything, don't be afraid to take that next step, because God has your back. He's there. He's there to assist. And he sends messages. And I'm sorry, I don't know why that came to my mind right now. Maybe because it was the first time that I ever questioned God. Um, but I'm sure that there's someone out there that needs to hear that. As much as it hurts her till today. Of course, when we lost him, wow, he was my son. It was hard, but that mother's heart was broken, like in trillions of pieces. And I remember her cleaning the cemetery, his tomb. And oh, my kids and I looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, what a moment. But she took that with, I don't even know. Like, she knew God was beside her and God helped her through it, even though she's still feeling it. But she was not afraid to take that next step. Today, she's a big social worker in New York, and she has been going to school for a very long time. Um, she has helped a lot of lives, a lot of kids, and all these kids that were the same path, they look for her when they're in need of someone to talk to. So trust the process, trust that next step. So please ask yourself, what fear has been keeping you from taking that next step? Maybe starting something new, applying for a job, beginning a business, speaking up, trusting again, whether it's trusting yourself, trusting someone else, trusting whatever it is. Sometimes we go through experiences that we lose trust on whoever and whatever. So you don't have to know every step. You only have to take that one step, that next step. Trust your thoughts, trust your heart. It's there. Deep dive number 3. Release the story you've been telling yourself. So, this may be the hardest one. I get it. Sometimes our biggest obstacle isn't someone else, it's our own inner voice. Maybe you've been telling yourself, nah, I'm too old, or it's too late, or I missed my chance. I could have been there, but I missed it. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough money. Can I lovingly tell you something? Seriously, been there? Those are stories. They're not facts. Those are things that we just like that human brain sometimes takes over and just feels like whispering in our ear on this side, on that left side of the ear. This week, I had a realization. My story doesn't begin with losing my job. It doesn't begin with glaucoma. It doesn't begin with grief. My story begins with that little girl born in Puerto Rico. And every chapter since then has been preparing me for the woman that I am today. So I'm sure the same is true for you. You are some, you are so much more than the hardest chapter you've lived. So I want you to think about that for a minute. If you could rewrite your story you've been telling yourself, what would it be? What would it say? That story about like, nah, I'm too old. What if you rewrite that? Whatever makes you feel that you're old, or no, I'm too late. Whatever makes you feel that you're too late, what would that be? I want you to complete this sentence. This week, I choose to release blank. Whatever it is that you choose to release to make you grow and become stronger. I also have a challenge. If you want to take a screenshot of this, or also I have this in the community. If you're not in the community, please do let me know. I would love to give you the link so you could go in. And which I have a challenge every week. This is week number 2, challenge number 2. Please, I am going to try and put it there on Monday. This way you have all week to look at it. And I'm also trying to just announce the topic of the week coming up. So I am getting better at it. So please look for this. Choose one thing you've been carrying that no longer belongs in your future. Maybe it's the fear, the guilt, comparison, an old story that you have been believing for years. So one step keeps you in the game. Just one step. You don't have to change your whole life today. Just do one change. Quit one thing. Stop doing one thing. That's all you have to stop doing or change. You don't have to don't use the word stop. Shift. You're shifting your life. Just just make that little change. Okay? So I want to leave you with one final thought. We often think growth happens because we add more to our lives. Sometimes growth happens because we finally decide what we're no longer willing to carry. That change, that shift. So imagine trying to climb a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. Eventually, you're going to stop. Not because you're weak, Not because you're carrying, it's because you're carrying too much. You don't need to carry those rocks. Actually, I'm a rock collector. I just started this. I'm obsessed. And this is talking to me. All right, so you know what? Place those rocks somewhere so you could get prettier ones. True story. True story. This is not a chat share or nothing. Um, it is so true. I go to a beach, I go to a park, and I start collecting rocks, beautiful rocks. Sometimes, like, I find a pretty one, and my hands are already so full that I can't fit that in my hands. So, and to walk back to the car, it's too much. You know what? Decide what you want to carry. It's not, there's no need to carry it all. So please sit back. Please think a little bit. What is holding you back? You want change, you have to make change. You can't do it together. If you can't do it alone, let's do it together. That's why we are here. So let's set one of those rocks down. Not because life is easy, but because your future is worth traveling lighter. Your future is worth you just enjoying, not having to carry so much. There is no need for all that. So, your weekly affirmation, please. I release what no longer serves me. I choose grace over guilt. I choose courage over fear. I choose hope over doubt. One step at a time. Please do not miss next week. Week 3, rebuild. 10 ways to rebuild your confidence after life knocks you down. This is going to be good. Confidence isn't something you find, it's something you rebuild one step at a time. So please, I urge you to, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts of anything, reach out, reach out to someone. I'm here. So keep telling yourself, I will reset, I will rise, and I will thrive. Why? Because you can, because you could make it possible, because you have the strength to do what your heart wants you to do and make it happen. Blessings to you all. God has your back. I have your back. You know what? I will hold your hand, whether it's right or wrong. We fall, we could hold each other. Let's talk. No need for you to be holding on to things by yourself. You have a lot of people around you that truly appreciate you and are here to hold you tight. Blessings to you all, and I will talk to you all soon.